In this video, I'm going to tell you step by step exactly how to set up Facebook retargeting ads. We're going to do everything from soup to nuts, everything from clearing up once and for all what they are, why they can work for you, and we're going to break them down how you can apply them in any type of business. Doesn't matter if you're e-commerce, software, consulting, local business, doesn't matter. I've spent millions of dollars fine-tuning and testing strategies like this to the point that I have an SOP that I'm even going to give you at the end of this video that you can implement right away into your business. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Heckman. I've done over $25 million in online sales, and I make videos like this because I wish that I had somebody sharing this kind of stuff with me when I first got started. It would have saved me a lot of time and headache. First off, let's define what are retargeting ads and why should we care? So a retargeting ad in a real world example, if somebody walked into a brick and mortar store, looked around at all the products, saw what they had to offer, but they ended up not buying, then they just turned around and left. If that store owner was able to run ahead of them to a billboard company and say, hey, can you quick put up a billboard because this guy's about to walk by your store, and I think if I show him a picture of the product with testimonials or benefits of the product, I think he would turn around and come back to my store. He was very close to buying, so I want to try to convince him to come back. That sounds silly, but that really is the real world example of what retargeting ads are, except instead of the brick and mortar store, it's your Shopify store, it's your consulting page, it's your social media marketing agency, and then instead of a billboard company, it's Facebook, it's Google, it's Instagram, TikTok, those types of companies. Extremely powerful tool for us to be able to implement into our business. And anytime people come to me and say, hey Chris, I want to start running paid advertising, what should I do? People's first thought is always oh, I'm just gonna launch pictures and images and get traffic to my site. No, if you have a website that is getting any amount of traffic, then retargeting ads is by far the best way for you to get started, because you already have a existing audience of people that have been to your site, and they are the cream of the crop. They are the people that if you just get back in front of them, there's a much higher chance of them converting. Especially nowadays in the attention economy that we have, people need to hear about you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before they'll actually buy. So retargeting is essential, and if you're not doing it, you are leaving money on the table, guaranteed. And that's why retargeting ads are so effective, is that it simply allows us to continue the conversation with our customer wherever they may be. And the way that we're able to set up retargeting ads is primarily with Facebook. All that we have to do is put this little thing called a Facebook pixel on our site, which basically tells Facebook, hey, this group of people came to my site. Can I make an audience out of them and show more ads to that person? Now, it sounds like it could be kind of confusing, but don't worry. We're about to jump in and look at this SOP that I put together that breaks it all down for you in step-by-step detail. So let's do that now. So here we can see our Facebook ad retargeting strategy. SOP, which is standard operating procedure. You can see all of it from top to bottom. It's extremely detailed, and we're going to go through each of these step by step together. So starting off at the top, a couple of prerequisites. First, you want to make sure that you have your Facebook conversion API set up and firing properly. If you don't know what that is, basically putting your Facebook pixel on steroids. And I'll link to another video on how to set that up. But for now, you want to make sure that you have your Facebook conversion API set up just so that you get 100% accurate data flowing through. Next, similar to our pixel, we want to have our web events, our purchase, initiate checkout, add to cart, and page view, that they're all firing properly. Third thing that we want is to upload our all-time buyers list. Could be your customer list, your client list, whatever list of users you're trying to acquire more of, that's what you want to have access to. And this might be in your Shopify, your Drip, whatever your site is hosted on, or whatever you use as your email client, it'll have a list of that. The last thing we want to do as a prerequisite, create Google Drive folders for cold, warm, and hot and existing customers, because these are the different levels of retargeting that we're going to segment. Somebody who just walked into your store and then left, we're going to talk to that person differently than somebody who walked into your store, picked up a product, got all the way to the checkout counter, and then for whatever reason decided to just leave the product there and bounced. We're going to be like, hey, what the heck? You were so close to buying, why didn't you? Whereas somebody who just walked in, looked around a little bit, then left, that person we need to do some more convincing of, right? So we're not going to talk to them in the same exact tone or give them the same level of emphasis in our marketing. People that got all the way up to the counter, top priority for us is we can get them to come back and buy very quickly. Now that we've gotten our 4 prerequisites out of the way, next thing that we want to do is gather our audiences. Basically, your audiences are how we are going to tell Facebook to segment your different different groups. Like somebody who just left your store like a second ago, you could run out and like tell them like, hey, like come back, like let's talk about this. But somebody that did it a month ago might not even like remember being in your store. So we want to have Facebook segment them so we can talk about them slightly differently. So your funnel is cold, warm, and hot, and then existing customers. Cold are people that have never heard of you before, never seen your brand name, they have no idea that you even exist. Warm are people that have engaged with you on Facebook or on a social media platform, but they haven't actually gotten to your site. Then hot, bottom part of your funnel, those are the people that have clicked on an ad, they've gotten to your site, they've either viewed content, which is looking at a product, added to cart, or they've initiated checkout. And then for whatever reason, they didn't purchase. Existing customers, those are the people that gone all the way through that funnel from cold to warm to hot, and then they actually purchased, and now they are one of your customers. So that's the funnel, and that's where each of these audiences that we're about to talk about fits into. Facebook Engage, this is the group of people that have engaged with our ads or our posts on our Facebook. Instagram Engage, same as Facebook Engage. Video viewers, these are people that have viewed our video ads. So website traffic, people that did in the past 3 days, visited your site in the past 3 to 7 days, 8 to 14, 14 to 30. Then the top 25% of traffic. So these are the like most valuable customers as Facebook defines it in terms of conversions for you. The past 3 days, last 3 to 7 days, 8 to 14, 14 to 30. Then add to cart. Like they're walking around with a shopping cart, they put products in it, and then they decided not to go up to the counter. Then initiate checkout. These are the people that got literally all the way up to the counter, and then for whatever reason, they decided to leave the store. So now at the very bottom here, you have your purchasers, and then we group the audiences together. So you have your warm audiences, then you have your hot audiences. Might actually make it easier to picture it like this. And the reason that we want to group them together like this is so that we can exclude these audiences from each of them, because we're going to show certain ads to cold, we're going to show certain ads to warm, and we're going to show certain ads to hot. We don't want to show them all the same thing, so we are going to set them up to exclude them. To clarify, even if you don't have all of these, which you probably won't, at least in the beginning, you don't have to like worry about that. This is like a very advanced version of this. Like even if you just set up view content, website traffic, and then website top traffic, that's a heck of a good start. It's much better to just set all these up now, and then later on down the road, you don't even have to worry about it. And then lastly, we have our creative setup that we have to gather. So you have your creative that you can set up. So these are all recommendations of like different types of creative that would be good for you to get together, which is like your pictures and videos that talk about each of these. These are all good angles. We have our creative inspiration here at the top, Facebook ad library that I'll link you to. But these are all examples of good creative that you can gather. Then brand stats, like the number of customers, number of orders shipped. These are just getting all the pieces together for us so that when we go to sit down in your ad account, you'll have everything like that. You won't have to like go like brainstorming, come up with the ideas like as you're making the ads. You want to have everything right there. So then you're just like pulling pieces out of your toolbox and you're ready to go. All right, and then down at the very bottom of your SOP, you'll see that we broke out each of the types of campaigns that we have and then what we're going to show to them. When you have made your Google Drive folders, you want to link to them here in your SOP so you keep it all nice and organized. So we have our cold audience, so the goal, the optimization, the targeting, the warm, then hot. And then down at the hot, this is really where retargeting kicks in. This is where we're really going to focus in this video. And you'll see here, already given you examples of different ads you can make to show to these people. So if you're wondering like, oh, well, I don't know, like how would I get somebody to come back? There's examples right here that you can pull from. If somebody abandoned cart in the past 7 days, there's a few main reasons that they didn't purchase. 1, they didn't trust you. 2, they didn't believe that they really needed it. 3, the price might have been too high. Or 4, no real good reason, or they were just browsing and they weren't that serious in the first place. Those are some of the main reasons that they wouldn't have purchased, and we can proactively create ads that are going to allay those pain points and fears. For example, you're going to show them ads of like previous customers you've worked with or people that have bought your product that have had a great experience and that they've loved it. Now then, when that guy leaves your store and he's walking down the street, he sees like a billboard of somebody that like loves like insert store name here, and he's like, oh, I didn't realize like, you know, they have that many customers. They actually are a legitimate business. Oh, they have a 30-day money back guarantee. So just like running through your head, like anytime you've walked into a store or you've been on a website, what are the main reasons that you didn't purchase? It's the same for everybody, generally, as a rule of thumb. You can also tell them about the product features maybe they weren't aware of before, like how high quality your products are. And here's your testimonials. And then lastly, deals and offers. Come back, buy now, like with free shipping, or come back and like for first time customers, get 10% off. That sort of thing, so that if money was the real reason that they didn't purchase, then they'll come back and buy. Then lastly is your existing customer audiences, which we're not even going to get into those type of ads in this video. This would be if you're trying to re-engage customers to come back and purchase from you, like maybe you put out a new collection, or you just want to remind people that you exist. That would be what you do here. And then down here at the very bottom, we have example retargeting ads, the ad copy. So like, for example, your ad copy could be something like, forgot something, we saved your cart for you, complete your purchase now. And then you just link them to your cart URL. And if you have a Shopify store, URL for that is just your domain /cart, if you didn't know that. Number 2, return for free shipping. So this would be an example of an offer or a discount that you could give people. And number 3 is last chance. Use code 10OFF for 10% off your order. Shop now, and then send them to the URL. And then this is like an example for an apparel store. If you're like print on demand. Like I said before, we're really going to focus on these here, and we're just going to build one ad together because you can get as detailed with this as possible. So now what we're going to do is jump over into our ad account and set up our audiences. When you're in your ad account, the way you build your audiences for retargeting is go to audiences, and then we're going to do create a custom audience from website. You have your pixel, and the one that we're going to do is just all website visitors. And I'm just going to do a large audience. Largest you can do is 180 days. It doesn't let you do any bigger than that. Create audience. And now what that's done is it created our website traffic audience, which at the very top here, website traffic 180 days. Now we want to do like smaller segments of that. This is a brand new account, so we don't have as much traffic. So I'm going to do a smaller audience size, website traffic 30 days. And then what you would want to do is you build it out for all of these others. So you do add to cart, initiate checkout 0 to 3 days, that kind of thing. And the way I'll show you how you do a range is you do custom audience, website, exclude people, so 6 days. Now this audience would be website traffic 7 to 30 days. There you go. All right, so now you build out the rest of those audiences. Now what we're going to do, just for the sake of this video, we're going to make one of the ads here together. So now the conversion objective you want to do, you can either do traffic, awareness, or sales. Traffic is just going to be optimizing for getting as many people on your site as possible. Awareness is just going to be trying to show it to as many people as possible. And then sales is going to be actually trying to get the conversions. In this case, because it's a newer campaign or newer account, I'll just do traffic. And then the way I'm going to name it is based off of the numbers here. So I'm going to do 3 hot retargeting, and then hot retargeting ad 1. Hit continue. All right, so now we have our campaign. Let's build it. So first go to our ad set, and this is where we're going to set our budget. I typically start off with a budget of around $5 or $10 for retargeting. It all depends on the size of the audience. Like if you have tens of thousands of people hitting your site every day, then you can go with a slightly larger retargeting budget, but $5 to $10 is typically enough. Then we choose our audience, which we had just made. Facebook also gives you the option of creating the audience right from here. I just personally like right from the audience page rather than in here. Just do auto placements. And now it's going to ask us to create the ad and ask us what we want to put in there. So I'm just going to put in any picture. Typically what I'll use is something that I create in Canva. I'll link to the other videos where I show you how to like create the ad creative in Canva. So you have your ad creative, and then we go back over here. We're going to make this a testimonial ad. And what I would do is I would make one feature ad, one testimonial ad, one deal ad. So this is, do this, make this a testimonial ad, say, make up a quote, made my life so much easier, customer name. And then for the headline, you can even try like combining and use different elements from the different templates in the SOP. I'll do the free offer that this site is offering. And then the link description, which is the part that goes to the bottom here. Then call to action. This is dependent on what kind of site you're running, but here I'll say get offer. And then I'll put in website. And then we hit publish. That was just one example ad to show you the process. Now what you want to do is go back through and build out 2 or 3 more ads that are talking about like different angles, like doing that exact same process. One showing the customer reviews, one showing like product features, literally an unlimited number of ways that you could retarget people. But if you're short on inspiration outside of the examples given here, you can go to this site that I linked, Ad Creative Bank. So many great examples there. You literally can't go wrong just seeing what other people have done and then adapting that to your own brand. Social Proof is a great place to get started. Highly recommend taking a look at those. Again, this SOP, it's pretty advanced. It's what I used in my e-commerce brands, which did over $25 million in sales. They had a ton of traffic. Like if you don't have that much traffic, if you have just like 100 sessions a day or 1,000 sessions, like you don't need to go like this all out, but just do like a reduced version of that. Just go down to not making as many audiences, just group it all together. Maybe do like view content, website traffic, initiate checkout, and then don't do all these like day breakdowns. Like you don't have to get that fine tuned with it. As you scale up, you do want to get like more specific with it. Anyway, I know this was kind of a longer video, but hopefully you guys found this useful. And if you have any questions about setting up your retargeting ads, please feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section below. And again, you can get this SOP at chrisekman.org/retargeting ads, and you can download it completely for free. There's a bunch of other free stuff on there. I don't have a course or anything to sell you, so I hope you guys found this useful. And if you did, please be sure to hit the subscribe and like button. It helps me know to make more content like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.